Howdy, howdy. Welcome to Internet Roundup, the OK corral of stuff you should know. Right?
Precisely, yes. I don't think there's any better way to put it.
Yeah, I thought long and hard on that one.
It's the clubhouse. It's our clubhouse on the internet.
So that's Josh. I'm Chuck. We do Stuff You Should Know, the podcast, and we do Internet Roundup, the webcast.
I think
That
people would
implies
forgive
live,
us for
no?
calling.
Okay,
No, does it?
maybe.
Yeah, I think it might.
Hey, did you hear they're bringing back Mystery Science Theater 3000?
I heard that there was a Kickstarter to do that. Is it successful?
Oh, yeah.
That's awesome.
And they've named their new guy.
Who?
It's going to be Jonah Ray, comedian Jonah Ray.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
I know. What
Good
a gig.
for him, yeah. I mean, that's like
Yeah.
basically being coronated.
Yeah, pretty much. He's sort of a friend of the show, so I was happy to hear that.
Yeah, that's good.
And then alternately, immediately nervous for him.
He'll be fine.
He'll be fine. That's tough shoes to fill, you know.
Well, think about it. When Joel left and Mike took over, everybody's like, "Bleh, what is this?" And you go back and watch it, and those Mike episodes are
No, they're good.
arguably even better.
Jonah's
So,
great. He'll be funny.
who knows?
All right, so we round up the internet a couple of stories at a time, and that was, I guess, a little bonus then, because we're going to talk about ibuprofen for a second. In particular, Dr. Stuart Adams, 92 years young now,
Right.
and he is the inventor of ibuprofen.
He and the
Profren?
team, but yeah, I think he led the team.
Oh, he definitely led the team.
And he was the one who, we've done an episode before on scientists who were their own guinea pigs.
Mm-hmm.
And there used to be a rich tradition in science where you wanted to make sure what you were working on wasn't going to hurt anybody.
Sure.
And a good way to make sure of that was to test it on yourself first.
Yeah.
And this guy, Dr. Adams, did just that one day when he had a hangover.
That's right.
Yeah.
Had it not been for the hangover, somebody else would have discovered ibuprofen.
I guess so. I mean, they were working on it anyway, but
Yeah.
he had it was at a conference, and he and some of the other members of the team had to speak, but he had to go first thing in the morning. So he took like 600 milligrams of the stuff they were working on.
Yeah.
And lo and behold, he was like, "This really works."
That's right. He started out as a youngster. I think he was just 16 when he left school without much of a plan, and then decided, hey, I'm going to try to be a chemist,
Right.
a pharmacy chemist, pharmacological scientist. How's
Yeah.
that? And his mission was to find a better treatment for rheumatoid arthritis,
Yeah.
which is something that Advil, I guess, is one of the name brands, and ibuprofen is still used for today.
Right, yeah, because it's a NSAID. It's a non-steroidal anti-inflammatory drug.
That's right.
Yeah, but so it reduces inflammation. And what is rheumatoid arthritis if not inflammation of your joints?
Yeah. And so he was pretty successful. I think at the time they were using aspirin for things like this.
Yeah, but they needed to use really high doses, so it was toxic.
Yeah, and aspirin was the first NSAID.
Yeah.
Way back in 1897.
Mm-hmm.
And it did a good job, but he said, I think we can do it better.
Mm-hmm.
And now he is a legend, and he was stunned to find his drug all over the world when he traveled. And I think very proud of what he'd done, as he should have been.
Oh, yeah, he definitely should have been. These days, apparently, 20,000 tons of ibuprofen are produced every year.
Man.
That's a lot of tons.
And that's tons with N-N-E-S.
Which is even bigger than, like, the regular ton.
Yeah, than the American ton.
Yeah.
Which is not true, of course.
Is it not?
I think it's the same, right?
No, one's,
is it a
one's
different
a little
ton?
bigger.
Okay.
You keep talking.
So a British tonne
Metric ton.
versus the American ton. And the answer is?
1 metric ton equals 1.1 U.S. ton.
All right, there you have it.
So it's a little bigger. I mean, when you're talking 20,000 of those things, that adds up.
Yeah.
So let's find out.
Welcome back to Tonnage Talk with Josh and Chuck.
So 20,000 metric tons is equal to 22,046 U.S. tons.
There you have it.
Yep.
Wow, look at that. Live reporting.
And plus, when you're doing that old 16 tons and what do you get song,
Yeah.
believe me, at the end of the day, you wish that you were loading U.S. tons, not metric tons,
That's right.
because it'd just be that much more.
That is right, sir. All right, what's our final story?
Well, we're going to do a little gallery.
Oh, we're going to plug our own website.
Because it's Christmas time.
Mm-hmm.
And we want to take you to, like Chuck said, stuffyoushouldknow.com, where there is a gallery of the world's creepiest Santa Clauses. And there are some really, really creepy Santa Clauses out there.
Yes, there are. And in fact, if you look at a gallery like this, it looks like the majority of Santa Clauses are creepy.
Yes.
I know they're all cobbled together, but I don't know. I've seen a lot of creepy Santas in my day.
The thing is like, I get putting on like the long hair and the beard and all that kind of thing. And the costume, that's traditional Santa stuff. But some of these guys are wearing like masks, and Santa masks do not work. Like there is no reason for you to be wearing a mask as Santa. And when you do, it makes you extremely menacing.
Yeah, I mean, look, the first one, number 1, that guy's not wearing a mask.
Who, barely comprehensible manifesto Santa?
Yeah, he looks drunk out of his mind.
Yeah.
And the child looks rightfully surprised and creeped out.
Yeah, for sure.
Number 2 just looks like he's angry.
Oh, yeah. What about, can you see poorly embalmed Santa Claus?
Which number is that?
He is number 31.
Oh, man.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, he's not good. You like these?
Yeah, I always like the titles. Number 7 right here, Insect Overlord Santa.
Yeah. And then one of my favorites is the Mark Hamill Santa Claus.
Yeah.
It looks just like Mark Hamill.
It does.
Santa's not supposed to look like him, like Mark Hamill at all.
And then my last favorite is number 20, Glue Sniffing Santa. Right here in all his glory.
Yeah.
He does. He looks wasted.
Oh yeah, for sure. He like it doesn't matter what era you're talking about. That guy is wasted. He was a wasted Santa.
I bet you had fun titling these, didn't you?
I really did.
I'm sure.
It was fun.
Snow Witch disguised as Santa with donkey.
Good one. I like the one where the 2 kids are displaying their Santa. They're holding him captive.
Yeah.
That was a good one.
Lead paint Santa.
Yeah.
These are classics, so thank you, Josh, for putting this together.
Yep.
And remember, Goonies never say die.
Yes.
And we will see you next week on Internet Roundup.